$30 for expansion, Danneh. That's not bad. $30 for an expansion, Danneh. What is this? Scam world? So these are just some of the comments, mainly the 2 comments we've been hearing over the last 48 hours of discussing New World's new expansion, Rise of the Angry Earth, or as we have dubbed it lately, Rise of the Angry Current Playerbase. Now this is not a news video. This is really going to be my opinion on what and how and why, and ultimately after 5,000 hours, should you be spending your money on New World's expansion? For those of you who are not yet aware, New World has dropped an incredible expansion cinematic video, which is promising a lot, but it also has some fans worried. And in this video, I'm going to give you my honest opinion on whether you should spend your money on this expansion. On the 3rd of October, we're going to see New World's first expansion release, giving us a bunch of new content. And let's be honest, a bunch of reused content as well. The price will be $30 if you already own New World, and it will be $70 to have the game plus the expansion if you don't yet already own the game. Now, in my opinion, this is totally fine. It's a great price point, no problem at all. To access all the new features as normal, you will need to purchase the expansion, or DLC, however you want to look at it, which includes a new story questline, which I assume will be taking part in the new First Light, Elysian Wilds, a fancy name, but I'll be honest with you, I much prefer First Light. Like, bring me back First Light. Mounts, which I'll be honest, outside of the sort of the guy being there, I'm straddling right now, and the mount just appearing, genuinely they look good. I was hoping for kind of a more realistic mount, so you know, they whistle, the mount comes running in, or you have to get them from the stables each time you want to use them. Something a little bit more realistic, but actually they do look pretty fucking bog. Like, genuinely, they are looking good. The new weapon, the flail. We won't get deep into this. I've seen many videos going through all the weapon details and everything about it, but we're getting a new weapon, a new expedition, and a new heart rune, and the slightly more controversial content, which we will discuss in more detail. So the new tier of weapons and armor, which I believe are called artifacts. You'll be able to go from level 60 to level 65 now, and you'll be able to increase your gear score from 625 to 700. So in general, this is good, you say. Like, this is good. What's the damn problem? So I'll be honest with you, I believe AGS are looking for a new audience for their game. This new audience will be someone who has not played the game since, let's say, around 2022, or anyone who has yet to try the game. I think the current player base, honestly, has kind of served its purpose. We have served our purpose as quality testers, like, you know, feedback providers like that. I believe we've kind of served our purpose, and they're looking for new. And I say this because if you are a current player, you are going to have to pay to continue doing the content you currently already do. Okay, like, the content has been updated slightly, but the bottom line is it's the same content, and genuinely something about this, in my opinion, feels kind of wrong. So mutations, these are changing for the better, I think, but you know, after genuinely years of doing these mutations, if you wish to continue doing them, you're going to have to pay and purchase the expansion to access the higher gear score to continue doing these expansions. Now they're changing from 10 mutations down to 3 mutations, and the gearing system is different, and the drops are different, and everything's different. So they've genuinely been updated. One of the reasons I believe they've been updated is because of the lack of players playing the game. I do think the system is genuinely better now, so it is a good update. So I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but there was never really a problem with the 10 as long as there was people playing the game. If you want to PvP, due to the way New World is, you will need to purchase the expansion to stay competitive. Okay, like, you don't need the flail, but you will certainly want to get max gear score and max level. Like, that's a given, right? Extra attribute points, extra gear score, you know, that's a given. If you want to participate in any high level end game gameplay, you're going to want to gear up with the latest tier of weapons and armor, which is the artifacts that we were discussing, which will require you to purchase the expansion. Now, let's be honest, at face level, it's genuinely not the end of the world. Probably for a lot of people, it's not that much money either. And yeah, you know, let's help AGS by giving them some more money and helping them continue to develop the game. Like, sure, right? But genuinely, I think this could have been delivered in just a slightly more thoughtful way to the current player base that are still playing the game. Okay, Dan, a new thoughtful way. Tell us what you got. Tell us the idea. Okay, so for example, why not genuinely expand the map? Don't rework the map. Genuinely expand the map and this is where we can kind of lock the content behind the expansion in this new zone. Don't rework, expand, lock behind that. So for example, this new area requires you to be level 65, and this new area requires you to be level 700 gear score. This is where you'll find new mobs, new bosses, new difficult content, and so on and so forth that require that level. But potentially at that point, then you could allow the rest of the game, the rest of your player base, to increase their level and increase their gear score without forcing the expansion purchase. This is where you will genuinely give people enough encouragement to purchase it because there's genuinely enough content there, but you're not forcing people to purchase it. But then you can force people to do things like, let's call it subclasses, the flail. Force people to purchase that. A lot of work's gone into it. It's quite exciting. Fine. We've seen subclasses in previous games. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to have the flail. Again, it's a nice addition. It's new content. You have to pay for it. Same with mounts, right? You want to get mounts, you're going to have to buy the expansion. So these kind of things can be locked behind it, but it doesn't change the way people are currently playing, and it doesn't affect, your current gameplay, and it doesn't force you to purchase the expansion because you don't have to do this extra area. You are encouraged to do it. Okay, some additional costs that you guys as players may need to consider when either returning to the game or, most of you current players will know about these already. So the battle pass. The battle pass, every time there's a season, there is a battle pass, a normal tier and a premium tier. The battle pass is not included in the expansion, even though the expansion's kind of season 3. There is more content that we haven't discussed yet that's included in this. So the expansions, the battle pass is not included in the expansion. So that's going to be an extra roughly $20 depending on obviously where you're on the world. Again, this is fine. The premium battle pass is optional, is it though? On top of the battle pass cost, returning and current players need to think about, mainly returning players, think about server transfers to join your friends. They cost money. Gear set storage, although Ward and Bane are disappearing, we need to discuss this a bit more, but gear set storage costs money. Transmog tokens, unless of course you want to go brain dead. Just running a lot for like a 1% chance of transloggers, fireworks, new emotes, and boosters to get your ass back into the game. Of course, some of those are a little bit of a meme. Fireworks, new emotes, you don't need them, but the rest you genuinely will probably want to think about spending money on. This is where I think the current player base are a little bit peeved off because, people have been paying quite a bit of money to the game, especially with gear set storage, especially with the transmog tokens recently. I've spent quite a bit of money on fireworks. Okay, I'm joking. It's not something to be pissed off about. But, people have been paying quite a bit recently, including the previous battle passes, and people will continue to want to play, and people might want to continue playing the content that they've been currently playing and kind of paying to support, which now they're kind of forced to have to pay if you want to play. It's kind of a strange one. But anyway, we are getting non-paid content, which includes the new season pass, the activity card, the challenges which are involved in the new season, and then the story which comes with that as well, which, we spoke about earlier, you might want to pay for because it's shiny. There are new main story quests in Eden Grove and Great Cleave, which are getting a bit of a rework. We are getting reworked Ward, Bane, Resilience, and Expertise is being removed, which I'll be honest with you, that is a whole nother story. We could spend the whole 20 minutes, half an hour discussing this. Long term, this is a good change, but there is definitely going to be hurdles for, again, the current player base to get over. The TLDR on this, long term, this is genuinely a good change for New World, but short term, this is definitely going to provide some hurdles for the current player base to get over and, suck it up and deal with and kind of get over it, basically. Oh, and we are getting Night Vale Horror and Turkulon, Turkey Terror back again. Yay. The system requirements have been increased, so be sure to relook at them again if you're not on kind of a mega high-end PC. Apparently the benchmark of the requirements have been increased. Now, this is a lot of information to digest, and I haven't covered half of it. There is still so much more to discuss, which we will look to do moving on. This is kind of the top level information here and why the kind of conversations are happening. Now, as with every video, I genuinely want to be honest with you guys about my feelings on this. I genuinely want New World to succeed. I genuinely think the game has been brilliant, regardless of its ups and downs and the bullshit from launch to now. I love the game, I love the core of the game, and The community's been great, the game's been great, and you know, let's be honest, like I've been able to full-time stream off the back of New World, so I want to see it succeed. I want everything about the game to succeed, because if New World succeeds, then also Lord of the Rings succeeds in the future as well. However, the whole point of this video is to answer this question: should you spend your money, your $30, on the New World expansion? So the answer to the question is yes. I truly believe if you enjoy New World, and you have enjoyed New World over the past couple of years in any way, shape or form, yeah, swipe for the expansion. It's genuinely going to be fun. You're genuinely going to get your money's worth. Yes, there may be some bugs. Yes, there may be some problems, but you know, that's the way the gaming world is with a lot of games these days. However, let's think about it like this, you know, the price of the expansion is the price of a pizza and a few beers with some buddies. It's not the end of the world, and in return you're going to get hundreds of hours of gameplay, hopefully. However, be prepared to swipe for more than just the expansion. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, I appreciate you being here. Consider leaving a like, consider subscribing, drop a comment. I'm really keen to see what you guys are thinking about the expansion, and either I'll see you in Aeternum or I'll see you on Twitch and we can complain or have some fun about New World.